Well, my top 5.
Just do one at a time.
In no particular order. Let's say A, Boris Karloff. I think he was brilliant in Frankenstein. He's brilliant in Bride of Frankenstein. He's been good in all of his supporting roles. He's across the board, a horror icon and one of my favorite horror movie actors. And he did them all. I mean, that's really all he did was horror movies. Number 2, Vincent Price is a given. There's no particular order. Vincent Price is awesome across the board. Everything he did was awesome.
He's got his own thing, you know what I mean? Like, even Boris Karloff, somebody could actually act in his spot, but like Vincent Price, you could hear his voice in that's Vincent Price.
Yeah,
or you could see him walking around, or like he'd be like, evil, and you'd be like, whoa, this is going to be evil, because Vincent Price says so.
Number 3 is going to be Edward Fenech.
I knew you were going to
I had to put her on there.
Edward Fenech.
It's this chick. She's in like a bunch of like.
Her name's
She's
Edward?
hot naked.
Did she?
But-
She's hot and naked.
But wait a minute, hold on now. I'm not ripping on this.
No.
I knew you were going to put her on.
I had to.
Where is she from? Enlighten me, because I have not seen any of
She's
these
in a
movies.
bunch of like the
Giallo.
early 70s Giallo films, like the Italian films.
Giallo?
Yeah, well, Giallo.
Good God.
But
She
But
makes.
that's more in the line of thriller, don't you think?
Oh, they're horror movies. There's enough gore to make. That's what I think distinguishes
Get back out of this
horror.
conversation right here.
That's what makes the difference to me between a thriller and like a horror film would be the amount of gore and how they do the gore, the cleverness of the gore.
Okay.
Like if you just kill somebody, maybe a thriller. But if you rape them with a
Gotcha.
blade, then that makes it like a Solange. Kind of.
Okay, well, I'll let you have that.
See, I'll put Fenech in.
Look, I thought of her too.
All right, well,
I thought of her too.
4 is John Saxon. I had to put John Saxon up there. He's just awesome.
You can definitely say him
You can
because
base
even if you
history
can't
just on
name
Nightmare on
3,
Elm
you
Street.
know he's in 3
Yeah, I know.
somewhere.
The dude's made
Right.
500 movies.
You can bank him just on Nightmare on Elm Street
Right.
alone.
My number 5 is Tom Matthews.
Tom Matthews from Return of the Living
From
Dead.
Return of the Living
And-
Dead
Oh, yeah,
and Friday
yeah,
the
yeah.
13th and Part 6.
The underdog.
I know, look, he's not a great actor.
That's only 2 movies though.
Return of the Living Dead 1 and 2.
Recycled character.
Yes.
But it wasn't even the same guy though. Did he
But it
change
was
roles
funny.
with somebody else?
Well, he was a grave robber in the second one.
See,
He
the
died
first
in
one,
the
they
first
worked in a
one.
medical supply warehouse. But
You need
the
it.
funniest thing that I thought was so
You
great
brought the old
about it,
man back too.
they even made fun of themselves in the second one when in the first one he's with the old man, the same partner, and he's like, "Watch your tongue, boy, if you like this job." And he's like this job. And then the second one he uses the same line. He's like this job. Okay, well I have Boris Karloff on my list because of Frankenstein. I mean, Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein. Plus, I really enjoyed his little intro into Black Sabbath,
That's awesome.
which was great, and in the Warlock episode, which was great.
Awesome. His outro on the fake horse.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Doesn't even make sense.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
It's good. And I just, he's really good, man. I have also Corman favorite, Dick Miller.
Oh, Dick Miller. You know what?
Dick Miller.
I thought about him.
Because the premature burial, but and then he's did some stuff with Joe Dante. He had the cameo in The Howling as the shop owner that sold the guy the silver bullet.
That's his. Apparently, I was talking to Matt. Matt brought him up
Okay.
at work, and he was like, "You know what? That Dick Miller said that was his favorite role of all time."
In the
And
Howling.
Howling?
And it's such a brief
He
role.
had what, like 8
Well,
minutes?
I mean, he was in the Burbs, but he shows up in
Gremlins.
every Gremlins too.
He's in
but
every Joe Dante film, isn't he?
Every Dante film he worked with Corman. He was in a boatload of Corman movies.
Yo, Dick Miller.
Adrian Barbeau,
No.
The Fog, Creep Show.
Two Evil Eyes.
Two Evil Eyes, the Romero segment he did, and well, Swamp Thing's not really a horror movie, but there's 3 anyway.
Yeah.
And I mean, of course, I thought she was great in Escape from New York. Again, it's not a horror film, but she worked with Carpenter in The Fog, so she's on my list. Plus, it's weird, she was actually really hot, even though she has a big fro. Nice lady. Dee Wallace Stone, she's probably on your list.
I had a feeling.
The Hills Have Eyes, Critters, even though it's not the greatest movie in the world, but it's
Critters?
It's a fun movie.
You remember seeing Critters with
Cujo.
Cujo? That's
Cujo.
a good one.
And my not first, but this is a big personal favorite of mine, and it's another lady, and it's Linnea Quigley.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm just surprised you left somebody off.
Night of the Demons, Return of the Living Dead,
yeah.
and she's always naked. I know it's bad, but she's in Silent Night, Deadly Night, topless. And I know she's got that whole 80s hair, but she's hot.
You're gonna give me crap for Edward Spinach, and you're gonna put Linnea Quigley on the list?
But her movies are more horror movies.
They are.
Like Night of the Demons, she turns into a demon and sticks lipstick in her boob and it disappears. I mean, come on, man. I know, I'm not giving you crap, man. I like Edward Spinach. She's a big favorite of mine. I really want to meet this lady, and because, I mean, Return of the Living Dead and Night of the Demons I love, and I kind of wish she'd have had a bigger part in Silent Night, Deadly Night, but, you know.
I would still...
And Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers. I almost forgot to mention Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers.
I would definitely...
It's the worst movie ever made, but it's such a good movie. It's great. And
Quigley's definitely on top of Tom Matthews. I mean, she belongs in a
They're
scene
on
with
top.
See,
This is either one.
well, I
might have been on some movie at some point. I don't know. Yeah.
All right. Well, by the time we got to mine, we pretty much named most of them, at least in conversation. But Vincent Price, definitely Vincent Price.
I like Vincent Price.
Like I said, he was just like his way of. It's not even like as far as acting goes. I mean, 'cause to be honest with you, it's probably not his lack of acting, but just him as a normal human being comes off as him in his roles. You know what I mean? Just like the way he talks, or when you hear that voice, it's like, oh my God, there's Vincent Price. You know what I mean? So that was why he's probably one of the most original actors out there. And then you have we mentioned D. Wallace Stone. You know what I mean? Frighteners, Cujo, all them good ones. You know, even though she usually ends up playing somebody's mother in every movie. E.T., Cujo, Critters, she was somebody's mom. The Howling, she was not. That was probably one of the only movies. But that's probably one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite horror movie scenes is at the end of Howling, where she's right before she turns into the puppy. The Wookiee. Right before she turns into the Wookiee, that looked really cool when she was in transformation. Then she turned into like Snuffleupagus. Bruce Campbell. Bruce Campbell. We have
Bruce. I'm sorry. I tried to get you on the list.
But like the two Evil Deads were probably one of my favorites, and just his acting in them. Very comedic acting, but it's just he could pretty much do anything. Like the scene in Evil Dead 2 where he had to fight his own hand.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just
how many
great.
people always credit that scene?
Oh yeah, it's like he's like the original. Everyone gives props to Jim Carrey for doing stuff with his own body, but Bruce Campbell did it.
It's a one-man show, too.
Yeah.
I mean, basically...
They pretty much just shoot a camera on, they're like, alright, beat the hell out of yourself with your hand, because there is no, direction there, other than maybe, hey, smash some plates on your head, or end up doing a flip. I mean, I think he actually did the flip on his own, too. I don't even think they asked for the flip. Yeah. But,
Evil Dead 2 is basically a one-man show. It's all him, really.
Move on to Robert Englund, Nightmare on Elm Street. He can go, in the first one, which was just straight up, horror movie. It didn't get into the slapstick stuff of the later series, and he could do that. He could be creepier. Even if you watched the Masters of Horror, what was that
Dance of the Dead.
Dance of the Dead. When you watched that, he played a good role in that. He was just real creepy. He's a good actor. He usually picks a lot of shitty roles, but he nailed Freddy Krueger. He nailed him. And, you could definitely list, he's got, at least 7 right there. I do have one more left, and this is the one that might be under argument as far as 3, but you have to remember I didn't know.
Okay.
But number 1, just another favorite is Patricia Arquette from Nightmare on Elm Street 3. She was in 4, and if you want to count Stigmata as a horror movie, that is probably one of my favorite movies. I mean, it was a lot of gore. It was Possession. I mean, it's kind of almost, it's as much as not as much, but it's almost as much as a horror movie. You could put it in the same league as The Exorcist.
It's more like a horror.